I got this beautiful, that's a turkey buzzard flying overhead right now. He's just flying over. Do I look dead? I am not dead. At least I hope I'm not dead. Hey, hopefully I didn't have a heart attack doing that. Hello and welcome back to Talk About Strange. I have a really special edition for you here today. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to share that story, the part 2 of Stone River Battlefield. I think it's going to be a really great story. So as you can see behind me is the our building, our house, that and how far we've gotten so far. So what I'm going to do is a lot of this I've been doing on time lapse and some videos and stuff like that as I've been working along, and who's been here working with me and helping me. So I'm going to play that as I read the story, and I'll play through the video, and you guys can see the construction and all this as it's being done. And I'll take you for a quick walk inside, and we'll get started with that story. And I'm going to do that story right from my future office, so it's going to be kind of cool. It'll be a first one, probably one and only look at that office from at the point of where it's at right now. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are inside the new house and studio. So back in there is going to be like the bathroom and pantry and stuff. I'm standing in the living room. Back there will be the kitchen area. And over here to this side is going to be my wife's office. And as you can see right there is going to be my new studio. That's the chair that I'm going to be reading Stone River Battlefield to you. I got my tripod set up there. And I got to tell you, this place, I mean, if you look around, we've had rain and storms. Everything's wet. It's just been hammering down on us every step of the way. I've never seen so many storms in my life, rainstorms and rain we've had. It's just been relentless. Every step of this has been difficult, dealing with the mud and the rain and the wetness and up there on the rafters and stuff like that. So it's been quite a process to get through this. I have special high-tech flooring that's supposed to be water resistant. I see some areas of that are starting to suffer from the weather that we've had. Fortunately, if everything goes well, although they are calling for a bunch of storms tomorrow, we will have the roof on this. Once we cap this baby off, I mean, that's going to be huge. Then we can really start rocking inside the house and get things done. I still got to get the sheeting on the outside, but we can get moving again. And every chance I get, like I said, I'll share some stories. So let's get back there and share a story right now. And like I said, I'm going to run you through on high speed, on time lapse, a bunch of the stuff that we did on the house, and I might jump in with some messages here and there as I go along. All right, so here we are. Let's get started. This is kind of different. I just want to let you know, I don't know if you can hear that train in the background. They might be finally running out. So I was getting ready to record, and I don't know if there's 1, 2, 3 of the world's longest trains going by off in the distance here. So, we're just going to work with it and call it sound effects. So if you haven't seen the first Stone River Battlefield video, you might want to check that out and then come back to this one if you want. If not, just listen to this one. There's actually 2 parts to the story in here, so it's kind of cool. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. I know I did, so I read it through here before I got started, and I got this a while back. So I want to get started sharing these stories because we're falling so far behind and everything's taking a while. This has come along really fast, this build, but doing a lot of it alone, and so it's taken some time, a lot longer than I want it to, because I just want to get back to recording videos, communicating with you guys. But we're coming along. Yes, those trains are leaving. I do expect another one will probably come through. So let's get started. All right, part 2, Tennessee experiences. Hi, Steve. I surely did fall in love with Tennessee. I wish we could have stayed longer than 2 months. I'm a lover of history and visiting historic locations, especially old Victorian homes and plantations. I have visited a few and have had experiences in most all of them as well. Here are two of the experiences in Tennessee. The Lotz House Museum, Franklin, Tennessee. We visited the Lotz House on November 3rd, 2018. It was about 45 minutes southwest of our hotel in Murfreesboro. It was ground zero for the Civil War that took place in Franklin on November 1864, the Battle of Franklin. This is yet another location filled with sadness and destruction of life. The Union soldiers had taken shelter here, fearing attack from the Confederate soldiers. The Lotz family awakened one morning to find their home surrounded by soldiers. They fled across the road to a shelter in a neighbor's basement, the Carter House, another well-known historic home I'd love to visit. My wife ordered us these cooling things that are supposed to 30 degrees lower in your body temperature. Hers came in, mine didn't, so she made me wear it anyway. After the 17-hour battle, they emerged to find mass amounts of carnage. The ground was piled as high as 6 feet with the deceased, and there were injured soldiers that needed care. The Lotz and the Carter homes had become hospitals. The injured soldiers stayed for a year before being able to leave. One of whom, the ones that succumbed to their injuries, were now souls that are most likely residing around the house, known to be haunted. We did a daytime tour of the Lotz house. Now, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, if it's Lotz or Lutz. I know somebody with the last name Lutz, so that's why I'm not sure. I was disappointed because pictures were not allowed, and I love taking pictures and video. It was a beautiful home like so many I have visited. There's just something about the homes in the early 18 and 1900s that pull my heartstrings. I believe I must have lived in a past life in that era because they seem to I seem to be drawn to their beauty. I am as well. They're beautiful. I love those old Victorian and colonial homes. Our tour was conducted by a very informative historian of the home. We toured just about every room. My experience happened while my husband, myself, and all the other visitors were gathered around a lovely dining room table. I believe the serviceware on the table belonged to the Lotz family. My husband and I were standing on the back side of the table facing towards the front door. We had a china cabinet behind us. If I remember right, I think there was a small window up above it to the right of my husband and I. As we stood listening intently to our guide, I was also looking around the room and drawn to the dining ware on the table. Suddenly I see a bright glowing light, maybe the size of a golf ball, come swooshing from above the right side of my husband above his head. It seemed to be coming from the china cabinet chased to the window, across above. It happened quickly, but I was able to see the whole thing because I happened to be looking somewhat in that direction. As it came swooshing down, it passed right in front of my husband, about his elbow height, and went straight down into the table right in front of us. I don't know if it entered into the plate or the table itself. I couldn't believe what I saw. I quickly looked at my husband for some sort of confirmation, but nothing. I looked at everyone around the table. No puzzled looks from anyone else either. Okay, well, the second afternoon that we're getting rained out, there's a bad storm coming through, whole bunch of lightning heading this way, so I guess it's supposed to be worse than yesterday, and yesterday was pretty bad. I just stood there amazed at what I saw, and thought had it been an orb, it moved so fast, and I even saw a blur trail behind it. At that moment, I chose not to say anything. I didn't want to disturb the guide, and since no one else seemed to be acknowledging it, I kept it to myself. Maybe it was just only meant for me. Throughout the rest of the tour, I didn't experience anything else. Days later, I told my husband. He said he thought he saw something but wasn't sure. Was I describing it as I described it, he said that's what he thought he had saw, but doubted himself at the time, I'm thinking. Although we were all amazed we had had an experience, we also have shared a tear for those poor souls suffering through. Although I found out that the Lotz had two small children. The orb I saw, very bright. I don't know if it was representing, but it was beautiful. Who it was representing, but it was beautiful. Steve, here's a video I'd like to see. If you'd like to see the home, it shows the dining room table. If I get a chance, I'll see if I can post that up somewhere, maybe in the description or in the comment section or something. All right, Lotz House, the Oaklands Mansion, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The Manny family lived in this truly beautiful home plantation built in the 1800s. Throughout the years, the owners changed a few times, and home was expanded to what it is today. In July 1862, a segment of the Civil War known as the First Battle of Murfreesboro had both Union and Confederate soldiers battling in the front lawn of the Manny residence. They also camped out along the area of the plantation spring, a beautiful Garden Creek section of the right side of the home. Post-Civil War, the plantation produced cotton, tobacco, vegetables, and other crops. This is where I experienced something strange. My husband and I visited on November 18th, 2018. I took the tour of the interior by myself while he waited outside. Almost there. I'm working on the final wall right now down at the end. It's been quite a project just getting these walls up. The humidity's through the roof. And I don't even have a roof yet. I was the only tourist, so I had the house all to myself and truly enjoyed it. After the tour, my husband and I walked through the gardens and the pond area outside the right of the home. It was a beautiful day. It was a bit noisy. Birds were singing loud and beautiful. Bugs were buzzing, and apparently there was an airport close by. He walked down the path ahead of me as I took my time listening to the birds singing and taking pictures. There was a section that had a few pumpkins strewn within the dried out plants. The trees were beautiful in their fall colors. Most of the ground covered was dry. The plants kind of resembled straw. As I was admiring everything, I became aware of a strange crackling. I stood staring at the dried plants in front of me, trying to see if something was moving on the plants. A little critter or something. It was loud enough that I knew it was a sizable in nature and I would be able to see it. I saw nothing. I stood puzzled. I didn't see anything, not one insect, thinking maybe a grasshopper even. As I kept listening, it would crackle, pause, crackle. It started sounding more and more like footsteps, carefully walking through the dry foliage towards me. I got excited thinking, am I experiencing something paranormal? Echoes from the past of time. By the time I started videoing, a plane was coming overhead. I tried calling out to my husband to come and listen to what I was hearing, but he couldn't hear me. It sounded like someone creeping, taking slow, steady steps. As I walked ahead to catch up with my husband, I could still hear the crackling coming from that spot. I didn't hear it anywhere else. I will conclude the clip of what I heard. Hopefully you can see or hear my experience. I wish I could have caught a longer portion of it. I absolutely adored Tennessee and truly enjoyed the time we spent there. We were attached. We even attended a concert in Nashville. We saw Leonard Skinner and Bad Company. Awesome. They were both the bomb. My strange clip. Okay, so you added the clip. Here's a video of the Oakland Mansion. So, like I said, I'll try to see if I can put that clip up or the attachment up. More experiences coming your way. Arizona Angie. Okay, there we are. Okay, so here we are. We got all the trusses up, as you can see. All right, well, hey, thank you for sharing that with us, Angie. We really enjoy those stories. Tennessee, I want so bad to go visit Tennessee. I hear a lot from a lot of people how beautiful it is there. And so my wife and I want to go. I guess there's a place, I can't think of the name right now, just offhand, but I know they do like this theater to dinner, whatever, dinner theater, and they have like a Western, Hatfields and McCoys or something like that. I'd love to go see that. That'd be really fun, and stay up in the mountains, maybe in a cabin or something like that. Boy, if I could take my drone and get some drone video, I'd love that too. Anyway, so thank you very much for sending that to us. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed watching the construction going on here. I'm going to be doing another video that's going to be more geared towards just the construction. So, you know, but for now, I just want to be able to do some of that just so you guys can see what's going on as we're sharing the stories. And I got to get back to these other, I still have some other stories that I got to share. It's just been really, really super difficult. I can't even emphasize enough how difficult it's been, trying to juggle all the things that I have going on right now and get this done and get inside. Man, once that summer clock starts ticking, it's 12 weeks and it's done. So, you know, we got to use every minute we can, but we're going to keep at it. Thank you again for all your love and support and sticking around and keeping your memberships and watching the videos. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you again real soon.